Ravi, Reliance Industry, Ravi buys one lot at 1200. Shyam sells one lot at 1200 rupees. Okay, both on 14th August. And Bharat, he buys 1000 quantity of Reliance, equal, but in cash by paying 1200. So margin at 15%. What is Ravi's investment? 1,80,000 rupees. Why? Because he doesn't have to pay the whole. He just has to pay the margin. That is 15% or 12 lakh rupees. What does Shyam has to pay? Same. 1,80,000 rupees. And Bharat, since he has bought everything in cash, his investment is what? 12 lakh rupees. Okay? 12 lakh rupees. Are we clear till here? Ravi, Shyam and Bharat. Now on 28th of August, which is the settlement date, what happens? The scenario 1, Reliance goes to 2000 rupees. So those people who had bought at 1200 rupees, what will they make? They will make 800 rupees per share. Shyam had short sold Reliance. He loses 800 rupees per share and Bharat makes 800 rupees per share. So what is the return? 8 lakh rupees out of an investment of 1,80,000 rupees. So he makes profits of 8 lakh rupees on an investment of 1,80,000. His return on investment is 444%. My God, that is huge. In 14 days, annualized return is 444%. What happens to Shyam? He loses 800 rupees. His loss is 8 lakh rupees on investment of 1,80,000. So whenever in future, if you are losing money, the broker will call for mark to margin payment. So his net return is negative 444%. While Bharat makes 8 lakh rupees on an investment of 12 lakh rupees, his return is 66%. So did you notice when you are taking futures contract, your returns on profits or return on investment or your loss on investment is very huge. Very huge. The return on profits and return on losses is very huge compared to cash market. That is why derivatives are called double-edged sword. They allow you leverage. And when they allow you leverage, what is the meaning of leverage? With a smaller amount of investment, you can invest more by using futures and option contract. So your profits will be manifold, your losses will be manifold. In the second case scenario, Reliance closes at 1200, which is the same price as your cost. Nobody makes any profit or losses. So there is no profit, no loss. The returns in percentage terms are all zero. In the third case scenario, Reliance falls to 600 rupees. When it falls to 600 rupees, Ravi loses 6 lakh rupees, 1000 lot size. Total investment was 1,80,000, 333% loss. Huge loss. Shyam, on the other hand, at the same price, he made 600 rupees, which turns to a profit of 6 lakh rupees. His profit is 333%. That's huge on 1,80,000. While on the other hand, Bharat also loses 6 lakh rupees. But his return on investment is only a negative 50% because he had invested 12 lakh rupees. So can you see in this example, when future provides leverage, it can be a double-edged sword. So when you're trading futures, you must be aware that you do not risk, or you should be very clear in your stop loss. I would say the right word is you must know beforehand what should be your stop loss before you enter a market position. This does not even take into account premium. I am just assuming that, fine, we can do one example. We can take this as a premium of, they bought it at 1205. He has sold it at 1205. So it does not make a very big difference in the calculation. So probably it will probably come down to 795, and this will come down to minus 595. So minus 795, and this will be plus 605. Not a very major difference. Sorry. Fine, if you take into account the futures value. Any other questions regarding futures? Is the future concept clear? Is the future concept clear? Any questions? Okay. What is the difference between volume and open interest? Very nice question. When I'm trading, volume is nothing but one buyer to a one seller. One buyer to a one seller. That is volume. So every contracts which are traded here are basically volume contract. So total volumes, 90,217 was the volume which took place in that day. Okay. Now open interest is number of contracts where one buyer to a one seller that gets open in the market and which is not squared off. That is open interest. Any contract which has a similar buyer and a seller which has yet not been squared off, which is open in trading as of date. So in Reliance, we have 2 crores 95 lakhs 27,350 shares which are open for trading. So if I divide by 1,000, I get 2 crore, 29, if I divide this by 1,000, so I'm getting 2 lakh 29,527 contracts which are open for trading. Contracts. So 29,527 contracts. So when I leave it to the number of shares, the open interest is 2 crore 95 lakhs 27,350 shares. So this open interest is not in contracts, it is in shares. Traded volume is in contracts. Okay. So if I want to get this volume into this, so what I do is 90,217 into number of contracts into, so this will be the total number of shares. So total volume has come up to 90 lakhs 21,000. No, it's 9 crores 2 lakh 17,000. So total volume in number of shares was 9 crore shares, which is huge in Reliance. Huge. So have you understood? Volume is the total transaction which takes place. Mark to market. Yeah. So the word here is mark to market. What does it mean? Whenever I am at a loss, I have bought Reliance at 1200 and Reliance is trading at 1180. So at the close of the day, my future contract is losing 20 rupees into the lot size, which is 1000, 20,000 rupees I am losing. So at the end of the day, 1180 is marked to market. The future price is marked at 1180. So I have to pay the difference of 20,000 rupees to the broker. And next day, from 1180, if Reliance goes to 1240, basically I'm making a profit of 1180 to 1240. 60 rupees is 60,000. I'm making a profit. Why? Because that 20,000 rupees I've already paid to my broker. So this is called mark to market loss and profit in futures. So whenever in futures at the end of the day, if you are in losses, the broker will call for your losses, and that day's close will be your value, which you will carry forward for the next day. Day 1, the price is 1200. You have bought. Okay. Day 2 goes to 1220. At the close of the day, you are 20 rupees profit. Okay. Day 3, it closes at 1180. You are at 40 rupees loss. Here, the broker can give you this 20 into the lot size. This is 1000. In general cases, they do not pay the M2M profits. Why? Because of a very simple reason. They know that in future you can have a loss. So you are 20,000 rupees plus. Okay. Here you have started losing 40 rupees. Why? Because the broker had paid you 20 rupees. You have started losing 40 rupees. So you are at 40,000 rupees loss. So the broker will call for you is 20,000 rupees. He will call for you is mark to market. That is your loss. Day 4. It is at 1100 rupees. You are 80 rupees loss. So 80,000 rupees. They will ask for you is 80,000 rupees. Day 5. 1140. So you made a profit of 40. So he has to give you 40,000 rupees back. So just have a look. He's paying you 20,000. He's calling from 20,000. If he's not paid you anything, he's calling for this 20,000, losing is 40,000. But you made 20,000 that day. So he's calling for 20,000 rupees. Again, you have lost 80,000 rupees. He's asking for those 80,000 rupees. You made 40,000 rupees profit, so he's sending you. So your net profit is in this trade is 60,000 rupees loss till now on day 5. Is this example clear regarding M2M? That is margin which you have paid. So once you close the trade, supposing you have booked, you have squared on day 6th, squared off. That 1,80,000 rupees, that margin you have paid will be again sent back to you. So that margin is just as a collateral. When you are taking the trade, that margin is being paid to the exchange so that to keep the risk on account. Right? Have you understood, Ketanji? Have you understood the loss part of it? How does that broker adjust the margin? Very good. So futures are very simple. I showed you with that example. Someone is buying, someone is selling. What happens in the case of profit? You just multiply into the lot size, the future comes to you, the amount comes to you, the amount pays to you, the broker margin you have sent, the broker will send the margin back to you. It's very simple. So now let us take you to the margin calculator, as along with it basics of NSE. How many have been to NSE site? How many of you have been to NSE site? Please, sir, today at the end of the day, I request you all the sites which I have mentioned to you, just take 10-15 minutes and go through it. Right? NSE site, National Stock Exchange site, Manjira ji. Great. So most of you will have gone, but someone who has not gone, just a brief 2 minutes. These are the various. You go to nseindia.com. What you'll open the home page. Okay, this is the home page. Just go here. You see the market watch. This is the various major indexes of this Nifty pre-market, Nifty 50. This is the major benchmark. Nifty next, Nifty 100. Then you have, these are the broad indexes. Then you have the sectorial indices. The major ones are Bank Nifty, IT, Metal, Pharma. These are the major indexes. Then you have other indexes. So indexes, you probably, I want to see what are Nifty 50. So now this have gone, shown you to the markets. Now when I go down, I get the top gainers. So Nifty 50, just a brief idea, they are the top 50 stocks from about 12, 13, 14 major sectors, which covers about 50% of the total. These 50 stocks cover 50% of the total market cap of Indian markets. So can you imagine, these 50 companies are equivalent to 50% of the total market, right? So where do I get the stock list? Okay, these are the gainers and the losers. So where do I get the stock list? I just go down to the live market. I go down to the index. So you just go down, keep scrolling down, equity stocks, you will get the equity stock market. Okay, so this is the stock watch. So I get Nifty 50 stocks. If you see, these are from gainers to losers. The top gainer was Vedanta, 4% up. ONGC, Grasim, Yes Bank, ZTV, Eicher, Hindalco, UPL, Tata Steel. These were the top gainers. Okay. And if you go down, what were the top losers? Yes Bank, Titan, Adani, Hero Ports, ICICI Bank, Sun Pharma. So these 50 stocks are your major stocks. Okay. Then if you want to see other stock watch, so other important is banks. So I want to see Bank Nifty Bank. In Nifty Bank, what are the top stocks? Yes Bank, Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank, Indus Bank, HDFC Bank, Federal Bank, Kotak Bank, Axis Bank, PNB, RVL. So I can get the various stocks if you want from NSE India. Now these are for the live markets. Okay. Now when you go down to products, when you click here, if you want current market reports, you will get the daily reports. What are the price bands and all? These are not for research purposes. Historical data, which we are going to look forward, how to take out the Bhav copy. Sector wise, high low archives, you can see the 52-week bulk and block deals, contribution to the shares and the top securities, advanced decline, all these business growth. These are all the reports you'll find here in the products. I want to go to now equity derivatives. This is called an option chain. So here you will get that option chain. I want to see the futures contract. So I click here, I will get the futures contract. I will go and click there. I will get the details or the contours of what has happened. I can go and get the historical data. If I go and click onto the historical data of the 1 month. Okay. So this is what I'm getting out here. I request 400 at 184 rupees. Correct? What have you done? sorry, 28,500 call option you bought at 146 rupees. Okay. This is a payoff diagram. So whatever, see 26,000 Bank Nifty also the maximum loss is 146 into 40. That is rupees 5840. You cannot lose more than 5840. What is your break-even point? Your strike price plus the premium paid. So 28,500 plus 146. So 28,646 is your break even, which is mentioned here. Just see the dot. And after that, if it goes to 31,000, your profit will be 99,358. As much as it can go, you will continue to make money in this particular example. So your upside profit is unlimited. Your downside loss maximum is 5840, which is mentioned here, and your break-even points are mentioned. There's only one break-even point. Now there is a site by the name eLearn Options. Okay. Now you just have to go there. It's a fantastic option site. Very basic. I want to basically go long. Okay. Long call. Fine. I want to take an example. Okay. So the premium is 40 rupees. So by this example, I want to check out how much money I can make or lose in 10,200 strike price. The premium is 40, my maximum loss at 9,800 is only 40 rupees. This is my break even 10,240 and I keep on making money. So if you see the graph is straight and upward. Straight and upward. This is the price of the security. As it is going up, the call buyer is making money. Right? Now, when I go to advanced, there are a lot of nice tools which are here in eLearn Options. This is eLearn Markets option site. So you can build up. We'll discuss that later on. So let's first come down. So this is a payoff diagram is nothing at the end of the option expiry. What will be your maximum profit and maximum losses? The price which it is been given. Now I have taken this from, I'll just show you where. Now, what is a profit is basically nothing, maximum of spot price minus strike price. In this example, if Reliance closed at 29,000, okay, so that means it's 29,000 minus strike price is 28,500, 500 less the premium. So the premium was 146. So you would have made 500 less 354 rupees into 40. So this is your profit per lot, 14,160 rupees. So this is the formula. For a call buyer, the spot price should be greater than the strike price. That means it should be greater than your 28,500. The closing at expiry should be greater than your strike price. Right? But on the other hand, if the spot price is lower than the strike price, that value will not be. So if Reliance, if Bank Nifty closes at 20,000, and you have sold 28,500, you are not going to lose minus 8,500. It will be taken as zero. That is why I put a zero value to it. So it will only be a premium loss of 146 rupees. Is the buyer of the call option clear? The strike price 28,500. So I'm making 1,500 less the premium paid 146. So my total profits will be 1354 per share. So per lot there are 40. So 54,160 will be my total profit. So the formula is something very easy. Maximum of spot minus strike / 0 minus premium paid. It is just very simple. If my spot price is greater than the strike price, then it will take that value. If my spot price is less than the strike price, it will just be zero. So I cannot lose more than what I paid for the premium in a call option example. Hope this is clear. The loss will only be till the premium paid. Fantastic. Please go through these examples today. Sir, everything I have worked hard for y'all so that you can understand everything. The examples, everything is very clearly given. Right? Fine. So now I am moving. This is a very simple example. See, the loss is limited only to the premium. Whenever the premium is less, the prices is less than the strike price, you'll only lose this much. Then the amount of loss getting decreased, and then there is unlimited profits, right? So this particular in our example would be 28,500 to 28,645. Your losses keep on reducing. The strike price and the premium price is that difference. The curve starts going up towards limiting losses and higher profits. Now this is an example of a call seller or a call writer who sells a call, who's on the opposite side of a call buyer. Okay, so best way to do is do a same thing which I have done. The opposite side, he is selling 28,500 call at 146. Now what is happening? Just see the graph. It's just the opposite. The buyer maximum loss was 5,800, 5,840. The seller, the maximum profit is 5,840. He is just on the opposite side. When will a call writer lose money? A call writer, will lose money when Bank Nifty goes above 28,645 for 646. See, as Bank Nifty starts going above 28,646, the seller loses unlimited money because he's standing opposite to the buyer. Till Bank Nifty does not cross 28,646, seller has no problem. It's just the opposite. So how much? What is the formula? Minimum of K minus S. So the seller will want the prices, the closing, the spot price on closing to be less than the strike price. Okay, so he would want the price to be at 28,500 or below. So if the prices are at 28,500 or below, he will get the maximum profits of the premium, which is his. The maximum profits can only be premium received. If Bank Nifty closes at 28,600, what will happen? The strike price is 28,600. His spot price is 28,500. So he loses 100 rupees and he receives 160. So net will be 160 rupees profit. So here is a loss, premium received, net profit, right? If it closes at 28,500, what will happen? His loss is 0, premium is 160, his net profit is 160. If it closes at 27,000, he will not get any benefit. It will be minimum, so it will be 0. 160, 160. If it closes at 30,000, what will happen? Spot minus strike. So K minus S. So plus 28,500 minus 30,000. 1,500 is a loss. Premium received is this. So he loses 1340 per share. So when I do it into lot, I have to multiply into 40. So what do I see? Maximum profit is 6,400. Maximum loss can go up to unlimited. In this example, 53,600 was the maximum loss. So just think yourself from call buyer and a call seller perspective. So this is online. You just go to 30th of August. You are bullish in the market. So what are you bullish in? Nifty. Okay. Now you're bullish. So what are you going to do? You're going to be buyer. What you will do? You will buy one quantity. Okay. This is futures. So I come to options. Strike price. I'm bullish above 10,600 and buying call long one quantity. Okay, my entry. Just a minute to reset it. Select Nifty 30th August. Strike price is 11,600. Okay. Type call. Right. Position long. Quantity one lot. 39 rupees. So I want to submit. Now this is the payoff. This is exactly, I lose only 29.25 and above 11,638, which is the strike price plus the premium, I'm going to get unlimited profit if Bank Nifty goes up to 12,000. It keeps going up, my profits keep going up. Okay. So this is a very, please, I've given this to you. Traders Lounge Option Builder. This is an option. This is option which I've done for you. You can do that for futures also. So now what will you can get a payoff for futures. So I'm going to do this for futures also. So what you got to do if I want a payoff for futures, you reset. Okay. You go to Nifty 30th August. This is the futures position. I'm long one contract. I submit. This is my futures. If you see futures, is very simple. If the prices go below, I keep losing equal amounts. Can you see the difference in futures and options? In options, a buyer, my losses was unlimited. Futures, my profit curve was the same after my break-even point. But in futures, below my break-even point, my losses and my profit, the curve is the same. So this is a trader's payoff of futures. Correct? So we've completed call option, right? So when are you going to be a buyer of call option? When are you going to book profits? Now there are two things. This is actually a payoff diagram till the expiry. Now you can book anywhere where you want, where you are making maximum profits. So it's up to you. If you have your stop loss and your target, this is just give you a description what will happen till the expiry. But before the expiry, you have various other factors which will come into play, which we'll discuss later on. Okay, there are some Greeks which are there, delta, gamma, vega. So we'll discuss that once that comes. But let's go step by step. Is the call option clear? Bank Nifty today is 11,557. Okay, 11,600 call is at 39 rupees. If on clearing 11,600 Bank Nifty closes, what will be this call value? 11,600? No value, because if it is closing at 11,560, 11,600 call will have no value. So the value will be 0. Value will be 0. So this today, this 39 rupees, sorry, is only time value premium. Now take a 11,300 call, 275 rupees. Okay, Bank Nifty is 11,560. Okay, so if it closes at 11,550, what will be the 11,300 call on expiry? 250 rupees. Okay, how? Simple. 11,550 minus the strike. We had discussed that. The close minus the strike when it is greater than 0. So 250 rupees. The remaining 25 rupees is time value premium. So basically, whenever 1,300 call of the September month has seen a decrease in open interest in a very major way. If you see in September month, there is a negative open interest change. That means people have squared off, especially at 1,300 September call. So this is telling you that someone has majorly 33% is struck off 1,300 call in September. 4,36,000, someone has squared off 1,36,63,000. So it was actually 6 lakhs. So the person is bullish in Reliance for the month of September. This is what the analysis tells me, that there is a possibility that if this calls build up don't happen, Reliance can go up to 1,300 also, right? But here for the current clearing, I clearly see 1,280 and 1,300 there is a resistance because there is a write-up of the calls which I am seeing here. 15,53,000 and 21,98,000. I'm seeing a clear-cut call writing which has gone in this place. So it needs to cross 1,280 and 1,300 will be a clear-cut case of resistance for the next 4 days in Reliance. So we'll discuss that in the open interest